Hello, Groton-Dunstable. This is Dr. Katie Novak, Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum and Human Resources, and I am really happy to be able to present this online version of the PARCC parent presentation to help to familiarize you a little bit with the PARCC test and some of the curriculum and technological shifts that will be required over the course of the next couple years, and also to just let you know what we're doing in the classroom and in the schools and in the district to help prepare your students to take this test, and then also to give you some resources where you can also kind of help your kids at home with anything that they need as far as improving their technological readiness or practicing the test. And we're going to give you some tools so you can familiarize yourself with the test as well, because I found personally that just by taking the test, it made me feel a lot more comfortable with the idea of our kids taking it as well. So this presentation is going to go through a couple of different slides, and then you'll have an opportunity to try out some of the PARCC tests that your students will be taking. So just a quick agenda. First of all, I'm going to talk about what is the PARCC test. I'm sure you've heard that it replaces the MCAS and that it's a standardized test that's going to be given to our students from grade 3 to grade 8, but I'll talk a little bit about the design and the type of standards that it's going to assess. And then I want to share with you our action plan in Groton-Dunstable as a group of administrators and coaches and teachers have gotten together to really come up with a plan to make sure that this test goes off without a hitch for this year and years to come. Also, we're going to talk about some student readiness. So the Mass Department of Elementary and Secondary Education gives us some parameters for things that students should be doing at a minimal level, technology-wise, on each grade. And I'll share some of those things with you because there's so much of this that they could be doing at home, when they're doing their homework at night, that would take really, really small shifts. And I just know as a parent, when I was reading them, I was like, oh, huh. I had no idea that these really existed. They were just published in July, so I wanted to share those with you. Also, I'm going to give you some resources on the curriculum frameworks and the blueprints, which tell us exactly the skills that these tests are going to be assessing. So we have all of these standards in Massachusetts, but they basically break down this percent of the test will be testing these types of standards, and this percent of the test will be testing these types of standards, just so teachers really have kind of a blueprint or a map about which skills are going to be most important for students. There's also some testing manuals that are public. Those are going to be for the test administrators, which are our teachers and our paraprofessionals, and then the test coordinators, which will be the principals at the school. And those are public documents that you could take a look at to kind of see the expectations for students during the test. What are they allowed to have with them? How long will they have to take the test? These are about 150 pages apiece, but Principal Steve Silverman, Luke Callahan, and myself have made cliff notes of these huge manuals so you can get an idea in just a couple of pages what the expectations are. The second part of the presentation is going to be talking a little bit about technology and what we've done in the district to prepare our infrastructure for technology, and that will be Luke Callahan talking about that. And then lastly, one of the favorite things for people to say about PARCC is that it's universally designed, that it's universally accessible to all students. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what that means. And then after the presentation, of course, you can always follow up via email if you have any questions at all. So thank you very much, and we're going to get started.